Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we are on to another mock draft for you guys. We are now at the second position of a 10-man league. Again, full PPR to help you guys with your redrafts that are going to be coming real soon. We are in July. We are talking redraft content. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. And of course, check out our other mock drafts and any other content to help you guys out with any of your fantasy football needs. We're going to jump right into it. All right, so here we are. We are at the second spot of a 10-man league. Hopefully this helps you guys kind of get a feel where players are landing, where players are going. Of course, this is going to be completely different when you guys do your home drafts because, let's be honest, everyone thinks differently. Everyone has different strategies, and of course, everyone values players differently. Or you might even have that teammate or league mate that is, maybe they're a homer. Maybe they like to go for teams they love or players they love. So this is going to at least help you get some insight to help you guys kind of realize where players are starting to fall, which players are going to be your sleepers. And if you guys haven't already, check out some of my other content I've got going on to help you guys with those sleepers and maybe some players to avoid based off their ADP. So we're going to start this going off at the 102. Now at the 102, I would love to get Christian McCaffrey here, which actually happened to land perfectly. To see Tyreek Hill kind of land in the first spot is kind of surprising. I have seen players like McCaffrey, Lamb, Jefferson. Tyreek's not as common. You might see him in the second or third spot. But with that said, I'm actually going to go and grab Christian McCaffrey here. Got to get the best running back off the board. It is hard to get running backs of his caliber any later. It's just not going to happen. So for me, Christian McCaffrey, if he was gone, I probably would have gone Lamb or Jefferson because those guys are absolute monsters when it comes to wide receivers. Now with the second round, you want to grab either a premier wide receiver or, again, grab some running backs. Now, looking at this, you got Laporta off the board. He's the first tight end, which is kind of shocking in the second round. And he's kind of a stretch, in my opinion, there. I think I'd grab him in third or fourth. Now, with this said, I am going to actually grab another running back and get Kyren Williams here with Christian McCaffrey. Now, if this is a home league and you saw this going on and you got two great running backs in this and you saw the next team ahead of you get all wide receivers, that's perfectly fine. Don't beat yourself up for it. Now, you could go running back heavy and get a Devon Achane or a Travis Etienne. For me, I'm actually going to go a different route. I'm actually going to go and grab Mike Evans. I know I could have gone Nico Collins here, but I love Mike Evans. He is Mr. Consistent. Even with Baker Mayfield, I'm not worried or concerned. Mike Evans is going to get his 1,000 yards. He's going to get you probably double-digit touchdowns, and he's going to be a beast every single week. So for me, I'm going to get Mike Evans. Now, most likely, Team 1 is not going to grab more wide receivers here, so I probably got him Drake London if he was available, but I think Mike Evans is a good spot here. Now you start to see the rushing quarterbacks fall and go pretty quickly. Now that is completely logical. Most people will grab a rushing quarterback to get that extra bit of edge in there. Now looking at the quarterbacks here, I can grab Mahomes or Stroud or something like that. I'm not going to go quite that early. If I can, maybe the 5th round, because again, on the swing, I can do that, or maybe in the 6th round, because I think you can get high quality quarterback play in the 6th to 9th round and not feel beat up. I'd rather grab my core players to really get this team as strong as they possible can when it comes to fantasy. So looking what I've got here, I can go tight end like Trey McBride or Mark Andrews, which is a great play. I'm actually going to go again and grab wide receiver. I'm going to grab my second one and DK Metcalf. And then on the swing around, I'm going to grab Cooper Kupp because Cooper Kupp here, I know he's getting slept on. I know he had some injuries, and he's had injuries in the past to be concerned with. But Cooper Kupp is a top 20 wide receiver, even with Puka Nacua in the fold. So for me, having him there at the 5th round, I feel pretty confident about it. I'm not going to be too concerned. Now, I've got to start looking at quarterback play, grabbing tight ends, things like that. I'm going to take the risk and grab Kyle Pitts here to now fill out pretty much my starting lineup minus my quarterback. I like Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a great asset. I'm hoping he truly does develop into the tight end we're all hoping for. I know we've been waiting years and we have been saying that for a while, but I'm going to go for it. I got to grab Pitts here. I think it's going to be a great play. Now, I like to try to stack a player if I can, grabbing like a Stafford or maybe Baker. Those are going to be later rounds. as far as quarterback play goes, I'm going to grab Joe Burrow and just lock in my whole starting scheme right now. Get all my players that I want as my starting lineup. I know Burrow's got some injury concern. I know there's the whole wrist thing. He's had injuries in the past. He is a little bit more of a risk play, but he has a lot to prove. He wants to play. He's got hungry receivers in Chase and Higgins because those guys have a lot to prove. So I'll take the risk at Burrow. Now, in a normal draft, I think I probably would have skipped Burrow there because I think I would have grabbed another solid player at the running back or wide receiver position and then grab quarterback later. But I think this is going to be a really good starting lineup here. Now, filling out the rest of this roster, looking at some players that are available, I like Najee Harris. I like Brock Bowers. I think it's a little too early for Brock Bowers because I do like the tight end I've got here. Lad McConkey, starting receiver for the Chargers. DeAndre Hopkins. So you've got some good here. I'm actually going to grab Raheem Mostert. He is being completely slept on because of the flashes that Devon Achane has done and shown. Mostert's just being pushed to the side. And Mostert was a phenomenal running back last season. I know there's always an injury concern with him, and he was healthy for the most part last season. I still think Mostert is a good play here, and I think that's a steal grabbing him there. Now, grabbing another player here, I'm going to grab DeAndre Hopkins. I know that's a little bit of a stretch, but I think Hopkins showed a lot last season, even with his age. I know people are concerned with that. He actually played really well with Will Levis. Now he's got another year with Will Levis. Plus, he's got a great other outside receiver with him and Calvin Ridley, who I think is actually going to help Hopkins, where he's not going to be completely the main focus on this offense. And I still think Burks might have something to prove and show. So I think the Hopkins play is pretty good there. Now I've got to fill out, again, rest of my depth. I'm not going to go kicker. I'm not going to go defense. If you guys have watched any of my mock drafts, those things are going to be at the end of the draft. I'm actually going to go and grab some other players like depth pieces, right? Maybe another tight end, maybe another receiver, maybe another running back. I'm actually going to go looking at what I've got here available. I like where Christian Watson, Keon Coleman, I think are some solid plays. Even Dallas Goedert or Jake Ferguson are some solid plays. I'm going to go the Keon Coleman route. If you guys have been watching any of my content, I'm a huge Coleman fan. I think Keon's amazing. I think he's going to be a super talent for the Buffalo Bills. I know a lot of people are concerned with, I guess you would say, what he came out of Florida State. He was a big guy. I think he's got very similarities to Mike Evans. I feel really confident in him. I'm not putting him as my number one, so I'm not mad at myself getting him this late. I am going to fill another backup position. I'm going to go tight end here. I'm actually going to go grab Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert has a lot to prove. He has had some health issues as well, but Goddard here as my second tight end, I feel pretty good about. I'm not too concerned drafting him this late. Again, these are guys that you are going to grow and grab. Guys that have a little bit more risk but have really high ceilings, and that's where you want to grab these players. Now, I've got two more spots here plus my kicker and defense. I'm going to grab a backup quarterback. I don't normally grab a backup quarterback, but I am going to grab a backup quarterback here. Now, looking at my roster here, I think I'm going to pair up my backup quarterback with a Kirk Cousins. I like the receiving weapons that he has. I could have gone Stafford here as well because I've got Cooper Kupp. I'll grab Kirk Cousins here. I know he doesn't have the rushing ability that, maybe a Deshaun Watson or even a Will Levis. I know Will Levis has a little bit of rushing ability there, but I like Kirk Cousins there as my backup because I feel really good about what he's going to provide for the Atlanta Falcons, especially with Bijan in his backfield. Now I'm going to grab some other players. I like Zach Charbonnet as a nice little backup and handcuff to Walker. Now I don't have Kenneth Walker, and that's okay. I don't mind stealing the handcuff of Kenneth Walker to my roster to have, because Charbonnet did show some signs last season, and I think he's going to be a lot more involved in his second season for the Seattle Seahawks, so I like that play here. Now I've got to get my kicker and defense. I'll grab my kicker here. I'm going to grab Jake Moody because I like this offense, and they score a lot, and he's going to have obviously plenty of opportunities for field goals. And then as far as defense goes, I'll stick with the 49ers and go with the 49ers defense. Their defense is phenomenal. They're going to have a lot of opportunities for turnovers. So I like that play right there. So that is my draft for the 102 position. I think it went really well. Let's see how that goes. So that is my draft at the 102 in a 10-man league. If you guys do have questions about your drafts that are currently going on right now or going to be happening soon, let me know in the comments down below. Of course, if you have any other fantasy content, whether it be dynasty related or redraft related, hit me up down below. And of course, if you guys have special formats, I'd love to tailor some of these mock drafts to a style and league scoring that you guys have. to help you guys out with some ideas of where these players are going. And of course, I always encourage doing mock drafts yourself. Make sure you guys kind of get some feel and understanding. And of course, check out these videos. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll check you guys out next time.